Hello team, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Welcome to Combat Ready HQ. Today we're going to be talking about what is life really like in British Army Phase 2 training. But before we get into that, please could you like, share, subscribe? It really helps the channel and I hugely appreciate it. And you can check out our merch and our new coffee blends. We've got 4 coffee blends: Combat Ready, Covert Ops, In the Shadows, and Op Decaf for those who want no or less caffeine. You can check them out on our website. And if you want some really good supplements, go and check out Combat Fuel. They're 100% military safe, so you can use them while they're in the military. Everyone who's taken them have passed every CDT they've ever been under. So what is British Army Phase 2 training? So you do initial training, basic training, or now as it's called, the Soldier Academy. So that's all your basic sort of soldiering skills, okay? Learning skill at arms, how to handle the weapon system, how to shoot, first aid training, navigation, CBRN, and loads of other sort of basic training, fieldcraft, going out on exercise, and just learning how to be a basic soldier. You're always a soldier first, remember. Phase 2 is your trade training. So if it's for the infantry, you're just going to stay at Catterick and you're going to do Phase 1, which rolls straight into Phase 2. Nothing changes, you don't move anywhere else, you just progress through training, and then when you leave you come out as a fully trained infantier, ready to be a private soldier. But if you join in other trades, other units, you then move to a different location and you'll carry out your trade training. So for example, the artillery will go off to Lark Hill and you'll just learn the basics of trade training, whether that's communications. If you're going to go down the sort of CP route, you've got gunnery. If you're going to do sort of guns, if you're doing UAVs, you're going to learn about UAVs, radar, do radar, etc, etc. King's Troop, you'll do your horse riding. Signals, you'll go off and you'll learn about your basic comms or whatever sort of trade you're doing within the signals. Same with REME, if you're going to be in a technician, a vehicle mechanic, a recce mech, this is where you're going to learn that, such as R&P. If you're going to join the Royal Military Police, you're going to learn all that good policing stuff, whether you can call them actual police. So that's what basically Phase 2 training, it's trade training. Once you complete that, you then go on to Phase 3, which is going into the regular army continuation training and just improving yourself as a soldier and then hopefully progressing through the ranks. When I was at Phase 2, it was still just as hard as Phase 1, but with a little bit more leniency. You basically arrived on day 1. I joined the Royal Artillery, so I went down to Lark Hill after passing out at Army Foundation College, Harrogate. Straight away, marching everywhere, they pick you up on it straight away. You get put in your room. You still have room inspections pretty much weekly, I did. You still conduct PT every day. If you go in 729 or 473, you're going to conduct extra physical training sessions. So when all the other guys are doing sports, you're going to be doing some sort of arduous PT to make sure you're up to standard to pass P Company Commando course or 473, their patrols course. And then it's basically you do your trade training. So what you have to do, because obviously there's still quite a few sort of soldiers within the Phase 2 and they can only fit so many on a course. In between, you'll do continuation training. So you might be lucky and you might get put straight away on a communication course, or you might get put straight away on your level 1 gunnery course, or you might UAVs, horse riding, whatever it is. You'll go away and do those courses to the most sort of basic level, so you sort of understand how to be a gunner, a signaller within the artillery. And then around that, we did continuation training. So we would, if we weren't on a course and we were just sort of sitting around, we could maybe one day go out and do sort of battlefield casualty drills. You even do exercises. You might go and do a 2-3 day exercise where you go out, conduct sort of soldiering skills just to continue to enhance you. You might go out and do navigational exercises. And that was Monday to Friday, and then you sort of worked the odd weekend. I think it was like one weekend a month, but we got pretty much every weekend off. So you'd finish on a Friday, you could go home if you wanted to, and then you'd have to be back by 10 o'clock on a Sunday, ready for Monday. But the difference between phase 2 and phase 1 is just the evenings are a lot more lenient. You can obviously leave the lines whenever you want. We were able to pop to the shop as long as we were back by 10 o'clock. You sort of had to sign in and out. As in phase 1, you're sort of confined to camp and you can only leave on your weekends off. You can't just go out willy-nilly if you wanted to, and you don't get every weekend off pretty much. But it was still really, really tough. You still got disciplines. We still sort of got beasted, as it was called, got given like correctional exercises if you messed up. We would get sent running around the block all the time, get given press ups. Some PTs, obviously the extra PT you do for 729 and 473 was extremely hard. Some of the hardest phys sessions I've ever done. They really prepare you for those arduous courses. The standard PT just for everyone who going into the artillery was sort of average. It was hard at times. Sometimes it wasn't too bad, because if you're going 729, 473, you're sort of fitter than majority of people there, not everyone. So that was sort of easier than your arduous sort of physical training sessions, which we did on a Tuesday and Thursday evening for the specialist units, the volunteer units. But they were really, really hard. But I remember we used to get thrashed all the time. People still mess up. They were actually really strict instructors. It was not easy. The continuation training was really good. Like I said, you were never not doing anything. So if you weren't on course, they always had a training program to make sure you're always enhancing your skills. So we would, like I said, go out on exercises. We'd do navigational exercises. You'd do first aid. They always had you doing something. You always did some sort of sports day every now and then, which was really, really good. Get everyone together and just conduct sports. So I really, really enjoyed phase 2 like I did phase 1. I think majority of people do. You get that little bit more leniency, like I said. It's most probably changed a little bit since I was there back in 2007. But depending on what courses you need to do and spaces will depend how long you're in phase 2. So phase 1 is obviously a set training program. You arrive day 1, you complete the training program until you finish, unless you get back trooped due to physical, medical, or you're just sort of not up to scratch, so they need to back troop you. Phase 2, especially for the artillery, was different because, like I said, there's only so many courses you can get on. There's only so many people can get on these courses. So if you can't get on that course, you are sitting around waiting. So you've got to do continuation training until you can get on them. So there is a little bit of it is waiting around, because even though the continuation training is good, you just want to get your courses done and you're really keen to get out there to get into unit phase 3 regular army and just being a soldier, get on major exercises, get on ops, and just be a soldier. So there's a bit of frustration there sometimes, but you just got to roll with it, get on the courses when you can, and then get out. Once you leave phase 1, pay then. So as you may have seen in my latest video, pay has increased. At phase 1, you're going to be on £25,200. You're then going to leave phase 1 training, and then that will bump up a little bit when you become an actual sort of private gunner, signaller soldier. So you'll get a little bit of an increase, and then that's when you start going up the increments each year. Every year, you'll go up the increments until you hit the top level of that rank, or whether you promote. If you promote midway through those increment levels, you obviously go on to the lower level of, say, like a Lance Bombardier, Lance Corporal. So pay is really, really good now. £25,200 for a recruit. Okay, it's not amazing money, but it was around £16,000, even less before that. So it's now at national minimum living wage. So when you enter phase 2, you're going to be on a little bit more. So you're talking £1,800 plus a month. As when I was a recruit, even when I was in Afghanistan, we had private soldiers on around £1,300 a month, just because the pay was so much below. But now you're going to get paid for it. It's going to be better. So remember, even if you are sitting around and you're waiting to get into phase 3 and you're really keen to become a soldier, you're going to be getting paid for it regardless. So that's one of the really good things for it. But phase 2 is tough. Is it tougher than phase 1? I would say no, because with phase 1, it's a lot more fast paced. You're working especially the first few weeks, 6 weeks, you're working all evening, eyeing your kit, getting ready for room inspections, hammering the drill, the skillet harms, because you've got to get those tests passed first. You're working until 10 o'clock at night, constantly. You're up the next day, it's go, and you've got the shock and awe of becoming civilian to soldier. When you get into phase 2, you're already got that soldier mindset. You've got the discipline. It's all sort of drilled into you, the routine. So you haven't got that from zero to hero steep learning curve. It's now just maintaining that continuation training, trade training, physical training, shaving every morning, ironing your kit, the odd room inspection. You know that's going to happen. So that way, I would say phase 2 is easier than phase 1, but when it comes to discipline, getting beasted, they were still hot on it. It was still hard. Like if you messed up, you knew about it, and we all just got sent running, doing press ups, etc. PT, it's gradual, so it should be a little bit harder from phase 1, but because you've improved your fitness from phase 1, it's not as hard, especially if you join phase 1 a little bit more unfit than everyone else. You should have increased it enough phase 1. When you enter phase 2, you're at a good level. If you are going to a specialist unit, 7, 2, 9, 4, 7, 3, say for the artillery, I can't really speak for other phase 2 units, you will get put in a separate block. You'll have separate instructors from those units so they can get you ready for joining those specialist units. So they will help you like more in depth with packing kit, what kit do you need, training, tips on how to pass the courses. So if you are going to these units, don't worry, you're going to be well looked after. They've got great instructors down there that are going to give you everything that you need to get through those courses and get into phase 3, pass them, and go and join the unit. So it is really, really good. Join in 7, you're going to get your beret, your maroon beret when you get to phase 2. They wear it. If you join in 2-9 Commando, you're going to wear a blue beret until you get past the Commando course, and then you'll finally get issued your green beret, which is brilliant. I wish 16 Air Assault would go back to issuing everyone blue berets until they pass P Company. So you actually earn the right to wear the maroon beret. You have to earn the right to wear your wings, but you don't have to earn the right to wear the maroon beret, which I hated when I was in phase 2 and phase 3 until I passed P Company. I think it's a shame. It sort of takes away from what the maroon beret really means. So yeah, phase 2, really tough, but really fun. Don't sort of get there and let it slack a little bit, because you sort of get on your high horse, you pass out phase 1, you think you're Billy Big Bollocks, you think you're cool, you think, oh my God, I'm phase 1, I'm a soldier now. Some people got to phase 2 and they thought they were that, got a bit cocky. I remember when I was down in Lark Hill as a phase 3 soldier on a posting to 14 Regiment RA, and you'd go out in the piss and you'd have these lads making up stories thinking they're all cool because they're in phase 2 and they've passed out of phase 1. You're not, okay? You're still a soldier under training. So just keep your head down, do your absolute best until you get to phase 3, and just continue training and just be the best soldier that you can possibly be. Yeah, that was life in phase 2. I wasn't there too long, around September to December of 2007. A little bit of sitting around waiting to get on my courses. I had to do my communications course, I had to do my driving, and then I did just continuation training around that. You make some new friends there, because obviously you leave phase 1, you go to phase 2, so you make some new friends, this time within the artillery. So the good thing about that is when you get to phase 3 and you have to do courses to promote, go up a level in whatever trade you are, you bump into these guys again. It's really good. You get down to Lark Hill again, or you go and exercise in Otterburn, you bump into someone you have a good catch up, chat, go for a beer. It's a really, really good place. And it's most probably the same for when you go to other units as well. You finally get to meet different guys from your unit, the trade that you're doing, and you go off to your different units and you catch up later on in your career and you have a good catch up over a beer. My top tips for phase 2 is don't drop the ball. Remember to maintain that discipline. Don't think you're all cool because you've now passed out of phase 1. You haven't really done much in your career, trust me. Right, keep level-headed, keep your head down, stick with it, listen to the instructors. They're still great instructors, they know what they're going on about. Do the best you can on your trade training courses, gunnery course, UAV, whatever it is. Try and get top recruit, top student on that course if you can. and do your absolute best. And remember, you're still going to get paid. Your pay will start to go up throughout your army career, so that's always a bonus as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Remember to check out our merch and our coffee over on our website. Go and check out Combat Fuel for some of the best supplements on the market and 100% military safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.